still on justice for Mohbad. So, professionals and well-meaning citizens of Nigeria in diaspora, and also those who are truly into justice for Mohbad, they have dug deep into the mystery surrounding the so-called autopsy and toxicology that we have been told was conducted in the United States of A, in Pennsylvania precisely. Well, the autopsy, after several months, got dropped like a bombshell, boom, on our laps. And we looked at it, and we tried to process it. We could not get to the root of it. They said, it seems that and the nurse, the end of it is that it's inconclusive. Toxicology report inconclusive. Anyway, the so-called agency, or let's say the department who is in charge of getting the samples of Mohbad down to the United States, claimed that they did, and they mentioned the name of a lab. But I want you guys to be patient, because what you're about to hear, it will shock you. You see, there are people who work in this lab. Yes, these laboratories all over the US, and they are Nigerians. They know about this Mohbad case. So they know, they have access to find out if any of such sample of Mohbad was brought to the United States. What really happened? Did someone who works with the laboratory, like another lab, working with another laboratory, you see, how come, why is it that it had to go through all this process? What exactly is it that they are trying to cover? You'll be finding out in this one. That is why it is important that you pay attention from the beginning of it till the end. Still on Justice for Mohbad. Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to tap on the subscribe button. Returning subscribers and those that have been here, I say a very big thank you to you. And I want to say, may God bless the pockets of those that have tapped on the thanks button, the one with the love icon and the dollar sign in the middle of it. May God replenish your pocket. If you also want to be part of this, you can as well tap on the same button.
Dr. Richard. Just hold on, please.
Sunday.
Dr. Richard Somori.
Somori, yeah.
Do you know who Dr. Richard Somori is? Dr. Richard Somori is the director of forensic in Lagos State.
DNA and Forensic Department.
Department of Lagos State.
Yeah.
So this is the game these people are playing. So Dr. Somori has a lab in Pennsylvania. They keep saying that they took this thing to NMS. If we find out that they forged this thing, they never know that they are talking to an intelligent Nigerian. Dr. Somori, if you are here and if you want to screen record this. You are the owner of the ITSF lab. And then you never told us, according to Commissioner of Information, that you are using a third party. Who are you? If you are following the Asian law of the United States, you were not supposed to be a third party. They're supposed to send that specimen directly to NMS lab. So because you have a lab, so the Lagos State government believe they can come through you. So if you find out that that letter added whatever, no wonder that some of the description on that lab, there were a lot of discrepancy in that. Go and do Wood Dr. Richard. Let me give you his real name, so all of you should Google that. Go and look for that. Who owns that lab? Go on. I will hold on. Just give me a sec. I think it's right time we have to pulungu all these people to the world. ITSI.
Yeah.
ITSI is the name of the lab. Bioscience in Johnstown, in Pennsylvania. Okay? I have the date, the time that they founded this lab in 2009. I have everything right here with me. That was when this lab was created.
Well, boss man, let let me shed more light. It's been discovered that the samples of Mohbad that was taken, which we are told that was taken to NMS, didn't go to NMS. Probably, it might have gotten to Pennsylvania, or the source of that document could come from.
Mr. Goreshi, let me just give the full name of this doctor so that people can start researching on him now. His full name is Dr. Richard Somiari. It's Somiare. He is the director of forensic department in Lagos State.
Yeah, DNA and Forensic Center.
Yes, DNA and Forensic Center of Lagos State. Principal of data intelligence.
It's quite unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation where we no longer trust the structure of our state. If this girl was arrested, it was arraigned for forging JAMB results. What do we do for our state government who might have suspiciously forged this important document that is not just personal? It has to do with the conscience and the senses of millions of Nigerians. It's really very sober. It's really very, 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 very pathetic that we find ourselves, if somebody abroad. That is why, you see, they compare the reaction and the attitude of Nigerians to people abroad, but we don't compare the government practices to the developed countries. They will say, in America and London, they pay taxes. In America and London, they have speed limit. In America and London, they do this. In America and London, citizens do this. They tell us what citizens do. But do they tell us, or do they do or live up to what their government do? Absolutely no. This is a secret that will shock everybody. A big secret. Thank you, Bossman, for bringing it up. It's a big secret that will shock everybody, because the lab that sample that they claim that sample was sent to initially was the one owned by the director of Lagos State DNA and Forensic Department. He is the owner of that lab. The name can be checked. The lab can be checked. It's there. We are just telling the state that they've deceived the conscience and the consciousness. They've betrayed the conscience and the consciousness of millions of Nigerians. Millions of Nigerians. And until they come to accept, or even if the state will want to clear and vindicate itself, those involved should be brought to book.
Mr. Goreksi.
The state should investigate and bring them to book. Thank you. Yes, boss.
Mr. Goreksi, see, I'm still saying it again. I didn't want to say much because some people are doubting whatever I was saying yesterday. That's why I came out to give them this shocker. Maybe this one, they will start believing what was said so far. Now, this is it, that if they say that they send that lab, that specimen, to a third party, and it's now come out that the third party that they send the lab to is not even one of the government of Lagos State. So that means it's still Lagos State that still did that result, not NMS lab that did that. Now, one thing is this. We have the full letter-headed paper from the NMS lab. And there's a lot of discrepancy in their own write-up with NMS. So it's not the duty of why there's a reason why we have to do that civil work, civil demonstration at NMS. We'll go to them themselves. We've been calling them. They are tired. They are aware that there are some things that are actually trying to malign their name, and they need to protect it. And this is America. They will defend themselves. And if you find out that it was forged, the letter-headed paper, or the ITSI lab forged that letter-head paper, and the one that did the printing themselves, which I myself, I'm not even a member of the NMS, that I can see discrepancy in the real one and the fake one. So I'm not saying whatever they did is fake. So we need to go there and ask them if whatever they put right there, because in America there's nothing like Panadol. We don't talk about Panadol. So if you put something like Panadol or another, like in America, they talk about when you say tire, they spell tire as Tire. But in other part of the world, the way they spell the tire of motor, is different, right? So if you now use some words that is not used in America, then you should know that this is suspicious. Am I right? If you are in America, if you know that the way they spell tire, the tire of motor, is totally different from the way UK or any other part of the people of the country pronounce spell the tire. All right, but there are some discrepancy in that write-up that they don't use in America, so which make it to be suspicious. So it is now in our own duty now to match, to go to the lab at the gate. The police have given us, in fact, the police are in support of us. We've called them, they've given us the grace to come and do a peaceful protest to them.
Now, if you observe closely, you realize that majority of Nigerians in diaspora, what they are pushing for, apart from justice for Mohbad specifically, they are also pushing for accountability. Gone are those days that the government would wing people. In fact, that NSAS protest woke people up. Like, look at these guys. You guys sent in the army because, yeah, some unscrupulous persons wanted to hijack the NSAS for their own personal gain. They wanted to destroy and break Lagos down, thinking that breaking Lagos down will yield results. No, not at all. So they brought in the military. The military did what they did, and they ended up saying, no, there was nothing of such. Now, those that are rooting for this justice in diaspora, particularly those in the US, they will be marching down, they'll be marching down to that laboratory in Pennsylvania or any of their laboratories where the Lagos State Department of Autopsy and DNA claimed that they had done the test. They have to let us into what really happened. Did we get any sample? They will answer. Was it Mohbad or was a serial number used? All of these answers will be relayed because they know that the integrity of their laboratory and all of this is at stake. They will not want to keep quiet and pretend like, oh, you guys do not have authorization. Yeah, they can say whatever they want to say anyway. The thing is this, protest on this justice for Mohbad will extend to that laboratory. That is the stand of those who are rooting for justice for Mohbad. That is what they are pressing for. That is what they say they are going to begin. Can you guys see that this is beyond this Wunmi and a group of emptiness? Can you see that this is beyond them? This is above them. How are they going to manage this one? How? How are they going to manage it? There is no escape. You heard the name of the doctor that they claim is a third party and should not be, that this should be sent directly. There should be nobody in between it. Not to talk of someone handling as if it's a personal thing. Did you hear all of this? That shows that although they said when they got what they got, they had to like break it down. So they might want to tell us that, yeah, we got the original copy, but we had to like process the information, meaning they filtered the information. They filtered it, they got the answer that they wanted. Then they decided to now invent what they presented. That's it. So they doctored it. If we will use, a doctor doctoring it. That's what they did. So what they did was to doctor, manipulate the original result. If it was done in the US, in that laboratory, when they got it, they doctored it, they packaged it to suit their own motive, to suit their own interest. Can you believe it? Can you just imagine it? This is what they did. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I don't know what you guys think of this because we need to dig deeper into this. We need to dig deep into it. Like, why have they chosen to go this route? Why? To what end? What is the purpose? What are they covering? What are they hiding? Is there something more sinister? Or it's just that Mohbad is just unfortunate? What exactly is this thing? Well, I will not say Mohbad is unfortunate. The thing is this. It has happened to a lot of people. This has happened to a lot of people. This injustice has happened to a lot of people. Collective injustice. That's what I'm going to call it. It has happened to a lot of people. Yeah. So this one of Mohbad has decided to wake that dull or that dead part of you. It has decided to wake that sleeping part of you. Like, look, if you don't rise up and demand, these guys will do whatever they like. Just imagine. Just imagine. Wow. Well, once the protest begins, it will wake up what needs to be woken. And I'm sure that the protest in Lagos, Abuja, and the environs will just be a tip of the iceberg, because this injustice is not just only about Mohbad. No, it will be a pattern. It has always been there for a long time. You see? It has always been there. It has always been there. It's been there for a long time. We've closed our eyes to it, but now, no. No, not at all. We will not keep our mouth shut. We will not close our eyes to it. This injustice, we will make sure that we turn the clock. We will turn everything around. It is not possible. It is not going to be business as usual. No. No, it is not going to be business as usual. We have to stand strong, firm on this one. And I'm sure that if we all can stand together, stick together on this one, we will get there. We will get there. And with this action, you see, it is not only, this thing is not only about maybe Nigeria or maybe about Lagos or about one police officer in Lagos or this and that. I know it's not all public officers, public office holders in Nigeria, all police, all this. No, 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 no. It's not like it's like, oh, this is the Nigerian thing. No, it's not like that. It's just some couple of people heading some specific section that decided to manipulate. This has happened all over the world. But the audacity of those in Nigeria is what we are dealing with here. Majority, if you are a student of history, you realize that people single-handedly fought the system to put sanity in place. These countries that most people applaud and say, oh, people are sacrificed to get that you know, that you are probably enjoying. It's the same thing. Nigeria is not exempted from it. We have to press and push to get what we want. Justice for Mohbad.